Do you like beautiful, trippy VR games like Lumines and Tetris Effect? Because there's a hidden gem on PlayStation VR 2 that nobody ever talks about, and it's a sequel to the FANTAVISION game on PS2. You see, back in the early 2000s, one of my best friends growing up and I played the heck out of the PS2 version of this game. It's basically just a super relaxing, color-matching puzzle game. It's actually kind of fast-paced when it comes to spinning the analog stick around and button mashing, but the chain and scoring system is kind of deep and complex, and I wouldn't say the game is easy. I'm actually not that good at it. Anyways, I felt like I really needed to review this game so I could introduce it to some people that didn't know it existed, or maybe somebody that didn't know that there was a VR version of this game. So let's check out FANTAVISION 202X, which also happens to be a hybrid game. You might be surprised what my favorite thing about it actually is. So let's check it out.
The highly seasoned gamer VR.
Alright, so the first thing you'll probably notice is the fact that the graphics still kind of have that PS2, PS3 look, although they may have went for that on purpose. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing though, it's actually pretty charming. The colors are stunningly beautiful on the OLED headset, of course, and the deep blacks. Especially in these nighttime environments like this. There are only 8 stages, but they're actually very long maps. And the original game only had, I think, like cityscapes and stuff, bridges and whatever, and this has a few of those. But it also has these crazy stages like out here in outer space setting off fireworks. The music in the game is actually nice and is very similar to how the music was in the original game. However, one of my favorite things to do is put on Spotify, listen to your favorite regular music, and put on a beautiful fireworks show to your favorite music while you're playing, sitting back relaxing on your couch. And speaking of couches, I keep hearing that people wish there were more games that you could just use the regular controller and sit back on your couch casually and play in VR. There's actually quite a few games that support this that most people don't realize. Well, this is one of those games. You can use the DualSense and it feels great, but you can also use the DualShock. Now just imagine these beautiful colors popping in your face in 3D in the OLED headset. I'm sure Tetris Effect and Lumines will last you a lot longer than this game unless you just really want to go for your scores and try to outdo yourself on hard mode, but I think the horrible $30 price tag at launch was way too high and people just avoided it. And now it's $19.99, which is much more fair and acceptable. In fact, I think that's a great price, especially because this game has some wild environments that the original did not have. For example, look at this. There's all these trippy places to set off fireworks that aren't even real locations. They nailed the vibe of the original because Sony didn't actually make this version of the game, so I was worried about that. But they nailed the cheesy FMV stuff and the music and the voiceover. It sounds just like the original game, which is pretty cool. Now, I personally love fireworks, so this game was definitely made for me. But was it made for you? The game's very polished, there's no bugs that I could find. I'm playing on a Pro, but it runs just as smooth on base hardware, and if you're a motion sickness person, which I'm not, you should not have any problems with this game at all, so that's a good thing. I'll show you the menu system and go a bit deeper in a second on how to play, but can't hurt to mention that if you're a trophy hunter, there's 30 trophies to find, and there's a platinum trophy too, and it's probably going to be impossible to do. I actually really like the menu system because it reminds me so much of the PS2 original. Now you can play the game on easy mode, which is what I do, or you can play the game on hard mode, which I could barely get past any of the stages on, and there's also a dynamic mode. You can even save your replays if you put on a heck of a fireworks show and sit back and watch it. The lady sounds like she's fallen asleep, but you can watch a whole bunch of videos that help explain the rules. It's not just color matching, there are items involved too.
Use items in various ways, such as in place of a flare or restoring some of the life gauge.
You can check your individual rankings, and the video clips that play in the background change randomly, which is kind of fun. Like I said, you can go in and shut off the music if you'd like. You can even go into the video settings if you're colorblind and adjust it there. But again, the highlight for me is just being able to choose which controller I feel like playing with on that specific day. If you didn't like the original game, you're not going to like this game. But if you did, you're in for one heck of a treat. You can play it flat if you want to, but I don't know why you'd want to do that when you have the option to be inside this beautiful world. This is one of the 2 city stages, which more resembles what the original game looked like. So how do you play? I mean, basically on the bottom right here, it's hard to see, but there's a little map on each stage. as it takes you from one point to the end point. There's a little pink dot that glides along with you. You see that white line that's spinning around? I'm doing that with the analog stick, pointing at the different fireworks before they detonate, and you're trying to do like all greens and 4 reds, you know, color matching to set them off. But when you start adding items and chaining things together, you can build up crazy points and reactions. The fun is trying to build it all up so you can get to the bonus modes like the world famous
Star Mine.
Star Mine is basically a short-timed bonus mode where they only send you 1 or 2 colors, so you don't have to really concentrate much. You can just focus on the same colors over and over again and get a whole bunch of points and reactions quickly, and it's very pretty and beautiful. Again, it's hard to see, but over here is where the Star Mine meter is, and you'll have an S, a T, an A, an R, and when you finally get the last letter, that's when you unlock that bonus mode. I love this spot right here on the first stage. There's boats, there's a beautiful Ferris wheel, and you see the reflections of the light of the fireworks bouncing off the buildings all the time. I love it. But there's also 2 more futuristic sci-fi environments, which are also very beautiful to look at. It's so pretty. I kind of wish the game had a 2-player battle mode or an online co-op mode, but at least there's, you know, leaderboards and stuff. But like other games, sometimes I get in a party chat with a friend and we choose the same stage at the same time and we just talk and play it together at the same time. So you can do that too if you want to buy it with a friend and experience it together. Or just play it alone, blasting your favorite music and have a great time. So what am I going to rate this thing? Well, if the game was still $30, I would definitely tell you to wait for a sale. But now that it's $19.99, I think it's pretty awesome, and I'm going to give it a 7.9. I mean, it's really good. There's not much to say about it. It may not be for everybody, but I'm sure by now you know if it's for you or not. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a comment, and until next time, I'll see you in VR.